Last day of the week, day 4, which means it's our tertiary bench t-shirt press for 3 sets. A set of 6, 5, and then 4. Nothing crazy, just adding probably 5-7 kilograms a set, pretty much weekly, just to have something consistent. Um, and yeah, just getting the movement and the groove back with bench, building some explosiveness off the chest. I'm not really a sink when it comes to bench. I don't really sink. Sometimes I'll do a sink method like in my warm ups. Like if I'm just feeling good, I'll let like 225, 240 sink, and then I'll crank that sucker up. But for the most part, I'm a soft touch type of bencher. It just always worked for me, so that's what I stick with. And t-shirt press is a great way to obviously fortify that. And then afterwards, we just got accessories. So closing out the week well, feeling good. Not necessarily feeling strong, but just feeling good, feeling like I'm kind of back on track. We're about 6 weeks out, so I'm hoping by like 4 weeks out, I really hit stride. So like next week will kind of be like the last transitioning week where when I'm done, I can somewhat feel like the way I was before. It's kind of hard when you lose 3 weeks of training, but yeah, just try and get there. Do what you can with what you got, but um, yeah, nothing really different going on. Nothing, yeah, nothing different. So um, hopefully, just have a good session and just let the good times roll. Feeling good after deadlifts. That's all I was gonna say. Deadlifts and squats. Today, just soreness in my lower back, which is the usual, but no pain in my lower back and absolutely zero pain in my knee. So that is awesome. That means I'm able to like push the envelope a little bit, which gets me excited for primary squat day, to be able to squat, without any type of hesitation, and hopefully make a bigger jump this next week when it comes to my top set triple. Uh, we'll see. I think my calculations have me shooting for around like a four, like mid 420s. I'll see if I could get it to the higher 420s and hit that for a triple and see how it feels. Obviously, depending on the day, but that's what I have in mind right now. Just trying to push that a little bit more now that we're feeling that much closer to being healthy. But anyways, let me get to the gym safely. And yeah, I will see you when we get there. Finish this pre-workout that ghost. See you then. Okay, we are finishing off this week with our bench press variation. Got into the gym, moved around a little bit, did some banded movements, got my hips opened up, all that good stuff, feeling really good. Back on the combo rack. The pad is getting less sticky. That is great. Side note, and you guys probably don't care about this, but someone's been using this combo rack to squat out of, which is fine. The issue is they put the bench back completely wrong and they don't screw it down correctly. Also, they leave the power bar completely covered in chalk. Like, PSA, if you're a powerlifter or you're just squatting or you need chalk, you apply chalk to your hands, apply chalk to your shirt. Do not apply chalk to the actual bar. That is one, how you ruin it, and two, really, you're not getting that much of a benefit out of it. You think you are, but you're not. So that's just a quick PSA for those who may be doing that. Please put things back the way they should be, clean things up, and just don't ruin the equipment. Anyways, so we're doing our warm-ups here, t-shirt press, trying to get as soft as we can. And believe it or not, it's actually a struggle for me. Like throughout my warm-ups today, I realized this is gonna be tougher than I thought. Like last week went well, but as the weight gets heavier, it's turning into almost like a tempo. Not a true tempo, like some will go faster than the other, but nonetheless, I'm having to slow down dramatically the descent of the movement. But it's all good. That's the point of it. So we get to our set one. And for our set one, we're basically taking our second set that we did last week. So our second set last week was 236 for 5. So I'm gonna take that for 6. And then a third set that I did last week, I'm gonna take that for my second set, and then just continue week by week that way to make progression. I figured that'd be a little bit easier until we get to the rep changes. When we get to like, instead of 654, we get to like 432, then obviously all that goes out the window. Anyways, that first set moved good. It's usually a little rocky, but it felt fine. Moving on to our second set, 248 pounds for a set of 5. You see me I'm getting down perfectly, touching the t-shirt. Also, believe it or not, it's kind of hard. It's hard for me to see like exactly when it touches my shirt. Like I'm having to like focus so much on the bar. That's why originally I wanted to add one of those like squat pads that people use. I was gonna add one of those to the bar. That way I can see the touch a little bit easier. Now, granted, that's basically like a photo press because you're stopping right above the chest. So I was like, all right, that's a little too thick. So I don't know. I may come up with something in the future where I just add barely anything to the bar to help with the t-shirt. But so anyways, this is going good. 259 for a set of 4. Like I said, the goal would be like to do some t-shirt pressing into the higher to 200. So we can get to like the 280s by the end of the block. That would be great. No matter what the reps are, just a nice t-shirt press, nice and soft, all that good stuff. So those went extremely well. We moved on to overhead press. Like I said, I'm keeping overhead press with the barbell in for at least another week, maybe 2. I'm just so weak at this movement. Like I said, it's hard for me to progress it. It would have to be such a steady and slow increase or progression over time. It had to be like an 8 to 9 week run to get it going anywhere. But right now I'm just trying, like I said, I'm trying to balance out as much what's the word, unbalancing, I guess. All my imbalances that I have. So when I press, sometimes my right arm takes over, my left arm gets a little shaky, the bar path gets a little crooked. So although this is a different plane of motion, I'm going straight up overhead rather than off the chest. It's still a good way to engage everything. Once again, keeping your lats and your scaps and your traps and all that really tight back there the same way you would on a bench press. You see me resetting at the bottom, and that's so I can keep that tightness, the same tightness I try doing a bench. After this, we move into our tricep movement. I only was able to record 1 set, but I actually did like 3 sets of these. I did 1 overhead to kind of prime the triceps. Then I did 3 sets with this same setup here, going a little bit heavier each time. Just really want to crank out some heavy tricep work since I wasn't able to do that this week. I also did a like a rear delt fly with this as a superset. Very, very light, but once again, just to emulate that same setup and tightness that you would in a bench press. I did not record that though. No big deal. And then lastly, we move into our row. I went with this row movement today instead of that machine row, just because I like the stretch of this more, and it does emulate kind of the bench press as well. Like all the back movement, tricep movement that I do today is to help with the bench press, just emulating that bar path, keeping everything tight, keeping your shoulders retracted, all that good stuff. That's the point of my row movements on day 4. My row movements on day 3 after deadlifts is more just to build some strength and size in the back. And yeah, that's the point. Two separate days, 2 separate goals with the movement. So I did 4 sets of these. And this last set I did underhand. It just felt good to get a nice pump into the lat area. But anyways, just another good week of training. First training week that I felt almost normal, back, body wise, like without pain. So I look forward to next week, starting to up the ante a bit. But yeah, I appreciate you watching. These days are short, so next week I may do a day 1 video, a day 2 video, then a day 3 and 4 combined video, just because I think it'd be easier that way. But nonetheless, appreciate you guys watching. Stay lifting and stay strong, and see you next week.